All right, Belinda. Well, perfect way to start with a win over the Swifts. What's sort of been the message of training this week after that?
Yeah, it was great to get that great start for the season. It obviously has given us great belief in what we've been doing, but certainly we know that each and every game we have to earn the win, and Fever will be a really tough test this week.
Yeah, and I mean, even though Fever might not be on paper the formidable side that we've might have seen in the past, you better than anyone know that they're pretty difficult to beat over in Perth, aren't they?
Yeah, look, I think Fever are still a formidable side. I think when you look at their attack line, they've got internationals in Janelle Fowler and Shanice Beckford, and down the other end they've got Fran Williams now alongside Sunday, and also Katie Ann, who was here. So they're full of international talent as well, and I think, I think they'll surprise a few teams this year. So we know we've got a tough test ahead of us.
Did you watch the way they played on the weekend? Did you think they played well on the weekend?
Yeah, I think Fever were very impressive this weekend. They were very clinical in attack like we were, so both teams went above 90% in their centre pass conversion. So I think we really have to put the pressure on early in our defence to get on top of that. Janelle Fowler, such a formidable target at the attack line, so we're doing our homework. We're using one of our male training partners to replicate Janelle in Lockie, a really tall shooter we've got here on the coast. So yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge. I think again it will be another one that will go down to the wire.
Kelsey Brown went pretty well last weekend as well. They were the highest scoring team of the round, the first round.
Yeah, I think Kelsey's added that extra lot of speed to the Fever front end. Their mid-court is very impressive. Obviously, Alice Teague-Neal got over 50 feeds alongside Kelsey, and they've also got Jess Anstis or Jordan Kransberg. So they've got a lot of options in their team, but we also have a great mid-court. I think, Leesa Mima had a great debut for us. Liz was really consistent. She got 47 odd feeds, and then defensively, Mahalia and Ava put so much pressure on the Swifts attack line, and for Swift to make 20 plus errors in a game just shows how much pressure we did put on their forward line.
You're from Perth. How will the crowd, do you think, welcome back Courtney Bruce? Will it be warm or will there be some...
Well, I've heard Fever have got like over 9,000 in the crowd for Sunday's match, so I think they're a vocal crowd just like ours is, but I think the fans at Fever really do love Courtney, so I think they'll give her a great reception.
What about Janelle Fowler? How will she welcome her back, do you think? Is there, because I think there might be a little bit of animosity in the team girls.
Oh, I think just with Janelle and Courtney, they're just great competitors, world's best, and I think they both, when they cross that line, it's game on, but after the game I think they'll shake hands and be very respectful of each other.
The win on the weekend, it didn't look like, if you looked at the scoreboard, that there was any chance that I guess the Lightning were going to lose in that second half. But the crowd was getting a little bit nervous at some points, particularly when Helen Housby was shooting those super shots. I noticed in the post-match you said that that's something you need to be a bit more careful of in the future. In
our review, the girls said that there was a great calm on the court, so I think they were always confident that we could get the win done. Obviously not panicking during those 2-point periods, and Helen did pile a few on. Fever have that capacity as well, but just us really backing in our game plan and knowing that we just need to score in that 2-point period, and we'll have a mixture of 1-point and 2-point netball. So if you get big leads, is that the strategy going forward? I mean, I noticed you were going the ones as opposed to just panicking and going for the 2. Is that sort of the way the Lightning's going to play? Yeah, we just like to tick over the scoreboard in that last 5 minutes, and we leave it up to the shooters to how they're feeling, whether they shoot the 1s and 2s, and we have game plans to combat both of those things. And I think, we've got Rue still to come. She only played limited minutes in the last bit of that game, but we'll certainly fire her early if we need to.
Could you bring her on just for that 5-minute window and take probably Cara off?
Yeah, we've got lots of options. Cara's also been sinking some 2s for us, so I think we've got 3 shooters that can shoot the 2s. But yeah, we'll certainly read the game and use the 2 points accordingly. And how good was it, to celebrate with a round 1 win? I mean, it's the best possible start for the club.
Yeah, it is definitely a great start to the season. Just to get out on court and play the netball we love, and play it as great as we did on the weekend is just a really great feeling. And how do you feel going over to Perth? I mean, you've obviously would have played there before. I mean, is it a pretty daunting prospect? Yeah, RAC Arena is definitely one of the biggest stadiums that I have ever played at. So to play in the fishbowl that they call it over there is just amazing feeling, and just to step out on the court with all the girls is just, I love doing it, and I can't wait to do it this weekend again.
And that crowd, Belinda was just saying, was it 9,000 or something? Crowd, that's huge.
Oh, huge, right? But yeah, no, it will be very intimidating and daunting when you're stepping out on that crowd, on the court with that crowd. But yeah, just the girls make it so much more easier to step out there and play like the sport we love, so it's quite fun.
What was it like in that first time that you had on court? That combinations in attack seemed very fluent. Did you find it pretty easy up there, or what was your summary of how it went?
There was a lot of nerves in those first 2 quarters, but with like the athletes like Liz and Steph and Kazi up in that front line, it's just so easy to get the ball to them and to play with them, and you just play your own game and everyone does their job, which we really thrive to.
And are they aware that you're so nervous? Are they talking to you during the game, to offering some advice or help, or to try and ease that nerves?
Yeah, no, of course. They're such experienced players, and just looking at me probably they saw the nerves coming out of me, but they're just so experienced, and they just give the feedback when needed, and I'll take it whenever I want.
And how would you will you get better with the nerves this week and the week after, you think?
I hope so, but no, I've always heard that nerves are good, so I've just embraced the nerves, and hopefully they help me throughout the whole netball game.
And you're going to, at some stage, you're probably up against Kelsey Brown, who's got a lot of experience, and she's been given a lifeline this year, whereas she might not have been at a team and might not have played this year. So what are you expecting from someone like Kelsey?
Oh, she's an amazing netballer. She's a great athlete. She's so quick and so clever and smart with the ball. So, yeah. But she's also got the height factor like me, like a bit shorter under. So hopefully we'll have those like big tall hands when she's feeding to Janelle, and she's just got such a precise feed. But yeah, hopefully just play the whole 60 minutes and hopefully we can get it.
During that on the weekend, just when the Swifts would kind of get a little bit of momentum, you sort of noticed that Liz Watson was just so clinical in everything she did in that period. I mean, how great is it to have her in moments like that? Because you can just tell as the Australian Diamonds captain, she just laps up the pressure.
Oh, she is amazing in those like pressure situations. I sometimes just like stand on the court and forget that I'm playing. I just watch her as she does her give and go, and I'm like, oh, I need to be an option. But when she's got the ball in her hand, it's just 100% going to get to the shooters, and we're going to get that conversion. So love playing with her, love watching her, and and she's an amazing human as well, which is even better.
What does it feel like to be part of this team this year with the experience and then the younger ones as well? Like, what's it like? What are you thinking about with the team?
It's a great feeling to be in this team. I am so fortunate that I've got the opportunity to come up here and be under B and Jeno, and with the likes of Liz, Steph, Kazi and Court. But also we have Harles in the centre court, which is so experienced, and just having all this experienced players above you, which I just thrive, and I can't wait to see how the season goes.
What's your main aim for round 2?
Our main aim is just probably stop the ball before it gets to Janelle. That's probably our main goal. And definitely possession. I think in our second half this last week against the Swifts, our possession was really great. So I think that will be another goal this weekend, to keep the ball.
Personally, is there anything you're looking to improve on?
Yeah, for me, it's probably to have my defence just a bit more effective throughout the whole court, instead of having those relapse and like ball watching kind of moments. So just sticking into like the whole 3 seconds on my player.
Cool, thank you.
Brilliant, thank you guys.
So much.